Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Now we start. We've got reading passage, and whenever you start reading passage, start it happily, excitedly. Okay? Yes, because when you start it excitedly, your energy level will be good. I know there are some questions that can drain your brain, right? But you should see how to deal with them and all that. So in today's session, we will solve one complete test, 40 out of 40 questions, and we will see how to deal with them in actual exam. All right? The first thing is you need to read and understand the question. The second thing is question will take you to the passage where there is the answer, and I'll tell you how. I mean, question will be the navigation guide. It will take you to the part of the passage, paragraph, sentence where there is the answer. And then there are certain tricks. I will tell you type A questions, type B questions, where questions and answers are in order, where they are not in order, and all that. So be attentive, and you have to repeat this test at home after me with all 40 questions, okay? Now, title, Bats to the Rescue. Bats, you know bats? You might be thinking it's the cricket bat. No. It's the other one. What do we call bat in Urdu? Chamgadad. Punjabi. Chamchidi? Okay, chamchidi in Punjabi. And then they say how Madagascar's bats are helping to save the rainforest. Bats are helping to save the rainforest. Now it means they will talk about the benefits of bats. They will talk about the advantages, benefits of bats, and how bats are rescuing the rainforest in Madagascar. Have you seen any documentary about rainforest or anything? Yeah, otherwise just imagine a forest where it rains a lot, full of water and all that, okay? Your imagination. Sometimes students say, we cannot concentrate. It's difficult to concentrate IELTS reading. So for them, it is a good idea to visualize whatever you read. And you know, the readers who read books, they always visualize. Whenever you read something, you visualize. So if you visualize, you will understand better. But for visualization, it is important to understand what you read. That's the main problem. Many students can read English, but what they read, they don't understand, right? Then they say, "Kenda kiye?" Yeah, then they read again, then they focus. So please remember one thing. There are three types of words which can help you understand the sentences. Number one, verbs, because verb is an action word. So verb will tell you what action is going on in the sentence. Second is noun. And nouns are common nouns, proper nouns. Proper nouns you know very well. It can be the name of a place, person, thing, and all that. And common nouns, usually you know, but if there is anything new, they define that as well. And the third one is adjective. So if you only focus and understand verbs, nouns, and adjectives, you can understand 70% of the passage, okay? And by the way, you don't need to understand 100% passage, because you will not read 100% passage. You will only read, if it is part 1, you will read 13 points or 13 sentences in the passage, and you will be able to find the answer. Now, total sentences can be 150 sentences, 80, 90 sentences, but you are going to read only 13 sentences because there are 13 questions. So let's start. After reading the title and the subtitle and switching on your imagination, you are going to come to this question. Questions 1 to 6. And the question type is true, false, not given. Now, this is very tricky for many students. And true, false, not given may appear in part 1, part 2, part 3, and there are only 3 parts in IELTS reading, okay? So don't say part 4, okay? So I will not be very fast today. I'll go on, and you have to be with me. We will go along together. We'll get along together. Now, in true, false, not given, there is a word or a phrase which is going to decide whether the answer is true, false, or not given. The first thing is, when you read the sentence, you have to find 2 things. Number 1, you have to find a clue word. Number 2, you have to find the word or a phrase which is going to decide whether the answer is going to be true, false, or not given. Okay? So let's see. Question number 1. Many Madagascan forests are being destroyed. Underline many. Many Madagascan forests are being destroyed by attacks from insects. Now listen, if many forests are being destroyed by attacks from insects, answer is true. If not insects, there is some other species of animals, not insects, and many Madagascan forests are being destroyed by them, then it is false. And if many Madagascan forests are being destroyed by human activity, not by insects, even then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us how many Madagascan forests are being destroyed by insects, by human, by any other animals, they don't mention that, then the answer is not given. Got it? So whenever you read the question, you're going to read it like that. Now, let's go on Madagascan forests. And by the way, true, false, not given is type A question. Type A means questions and answers are in order, in a sequence. And usually when they give you 1 to 6 questions, 1 to 5, sentence completion, true, false, not given, usually start searching the answer from the first paragraph. Okay? Now, let's go to first paragraph. Can you see Madagascan forests? Second line. This is what we call location. What do we call it? Location of the answer in the passage. So, if you reach the right location, after reading 1 to 2 sentences, you will find the answer. If you are at the wrong location, this is how IELTS reading goes out of your control. Then you read another paragraph, then you read another passage, another line, and at the end you guess and you go on. Okay? Now we are clear, we are going to look for how many Madagascan forests are being destroyed. And see that I still remember the question. You know how? Because I imagined. I imagined Madagascan forest, I imagined insects, I imagined destruction. So you're imagining, because when you do IELTS reading, there'll be pin drop silence in examination room. So you can just do it on your own, right? Now let's read second line. Madagascar's forests are being converted to agricultural land at a rate of 1% every year. Much of this destruction, much of means many. Much of this destruction is fueled by the cultivation of the country's main staple crop, and that is rice. And a key reason for this destruction is that insect pests are destroying vast quantities of what is grown by local subsistence. So, and a key reason for this destruction, who is destroying it? No. Let's come to third sentence. Much of this destruction is fueled by the cultivation of country's main staple crop, rice. Now, how are they destroying? Because they want to grow rice, so they are cutting the forest and they are growing rice over there. They said much of this destruction is fueled by, much of it is fueled by cultivation. Now, what is insect? Let's read it. And a key reason for this destruction is that insect pests are destroying vast quantities of what is grown by local subsistence farmers. Now, insect pest. What is pest? It's the medicine that kills pesticide, pest and pesticide. So it's not the insects. It's the farmers who are chopping down the Madagascar forest for the purpose of cultivating rice. Okay, so what is the answer? Many Madagascan forests are being destroyed by attacks from insects. No, they use the word insect pests, but they are being destroyed by human activity, and that is cultivation for rice. Hence the answer is false. Right? Just underline that sentence. Question right there, question number 1. When you go back home, practice, read again, even read 10 times. Unless a voice comes from your inside. Acha! You know, sometimes when the power fails, and after some time, after 1 to 2 hours, the power restores, some people shout cheerfully, shukr hai, something like, and some people abuse. Okay? When the power fails, they abuse. When it restores, they abuse. But anyways, so you're not going to abuse. You find the answer and you abuse in the exam. Oh, no, the something like that. Question number 2. Loss of habitat. Now underline loss of habitat. Habitat means place to live, Okay, for animals where they live, that is their habitat. Loss of habitat has badly affected insectivorous bats. Okay, insectivorous bats are the bats that eat insects. Loss of habitat has badly affected insectivorous bats in Madagascar. Now listen, loss of habitat has badly affected the bats. Loss of habitat means now bats don't have place to live, and that has actually affected insectivorous bats in Madagascar. Insectivorous means bats that eat different type of insects. Now we go back. Exactly, third last line. Okay, see that? Now questions and answers are in sequence. Third last line. The result is devastating habitat. Clue word is habitat and the other one. The result is devastating habitat and biodiversity loss on the island. But not all species are suffering. Okay, let's read on. In fact, some of the island's insectivorous bats are currently thriving. Thriving means they are struggling to exist. And this has important implications for farmers and conservationists alike. So, the bats, are they suffering from it? No, they are not suffering from it. Come back to the questions. Loss of habitat has badly affected insectivorous bats. Has it affected insectivorous bats? No, it is not. Please come back. Let's read again. Some of the island's insectivorous bats are currently thriving. Currently thriving means they are still living happily and it has not affected them. Currently thriving means they are not being affected. So, question number 2, loss of habitat has badly affected. No, they are currently thriving. It's the opposite. Hence, the answer is false. Let's go on. Question number 3, Ricardo Rocha. Now, what is this? Clue word. Ricardo Rocha. Names are the best clue words. Sometimes numbers are the best clue words. So, Ricardo Rocha has carried out studies of bats in different parts of the world. Just underline different parts of the world. That's it. Now, look here. If he's done the research in one city, one part of the world, answer will be false. If they say he's done this study in Asia, Europe, America, and Australia, these are different parts of the world, then the answer will be true. And if they don't tell us, they tell us about his study, but they don't tell us whether it was in different parts of the world or same part, then it will be not given. Now look for Ricardo Rocha. Wow. See that? How systematically it's going on? So, Ricardo Rocha. He is passionate. I'm reading second paragraph. First line, he is passionate about conservation and bats. More specifically, he is interested in how bats are responding to human activity and deforestation in particular. Rocha's new study, now be active. Answer is in this sentence. Rocha's new study shows that several species of bats are giving Madagascar's rice farmers a vital pest control service by feasting on plague of insects. Now, have they mentioned anything that this study is related to one area or different areas of the world? No. So the answer is not given. Why not given? Because different parts of the world has not been mentioned. Clear? Again, I'm saying underline the line, the sentence where there is the answer, write question number down there, and then you can practice. Let's go on. Question number 4, habitat modification. Habitat modification means change in place of living. Habitat modification has resulted in indigenous bats in Madagascar becoming useful to farmers. Now, habitat modification, what has it done? Indigenous bats mean the bats that belong to that area. All right? Yeah. So, habitat modification has resulted in indigenous bats in Madagascar becoming useful. Now, listen. If due to habitat modification, bats are becoming useful to farmers, answer is true. If despite habitat modification, bats are not useful, then it is false. And if they don't tell us whether they are useful or useless, then not given. So, habitat modification. Look for modification? Okay. All right. Okay, let's just focus this thing. Second paragraph. Please come to the second paragraph. Second paragraph, and we read it from third line. Rocha's new study shows that several species of bats are giving Madagascar's rice farmer a vital pest control service. Now, what is pest control service? Bats are eating the insects or pests. Bats are eating the pests. So what is it? Just read it again. Rocha's new study shows that several species of bats are giving Madagascar's rice farmers a vital pest control service by feasting on plague of insects, and this he believes can ease the financial pressure on farmers to turn forest into field. Now, we are just concerned about habitat modification. Resulted in indigenous bats, Madagascar becoming useful to farmers. So, can you see anything related to habitat modification? No. Let's go on to fourth paragraph. Okay. Fourth paragraph, which line? Yeah, we've got habitat modification. Absolutely. Let's read it from the beginning. Co-leading an international team of scientists, Rocha found that several species of indigenous bats are taking advantage of habitat modification to hunt insects swarming above the country's rice field. Absolutely. So, the answer is true. Exactly. So the clue word was habitat modification result in indigenous bats of Madagascar becoming useful to farmer. Now, by the way, what is the phrase for becoming useful to farmer? Read it, read it. Hunt insects swarming above the country's rice fields. So when they are eating insects, they are becoming useful to farmers because farmers want these insects to be eaten or controlled and all that. Okay, so the answer is true. Please come back to question number 5. Malagasy mouse-eared bat. It's the name of the bat. So the clue word is Malagasy mouse-eared bat is more common than other indigenous bat species in Madagascar. Now listen, if Malagasy mouse-eared bat is more common than other ones, answer is true. Try to understand. Listen now, listen. Whenever in true, false, not given, they use the word than. T-H-A-N, than. Than means comparison. They compare two things. So if, like they say, Malagasy mouse-eared bat is more common. If this mouse-eared bat is more common than the other one, answer is true. If the other one is more common than the mouse-eared, answer is false. And if they don't tell us which one is more common or less common, then it is not given. So whenever they give you comparative sentence in true, false, not given, this is what you guys need to check. Now let's go back. It's the same fourth paragraph. I'm going to read it from third line. They include Malagasy mouse-eared bat, Major's long-fingered bat, the Malagasy white-bellied free-tailed bat, and Peter's wrinkle-lipped bat. Now, have they given us any comparison that which one is more common or less common? Hence, the answer is not given. Got it? So, whenever they use comparatives, then as compared to this, that, then you have to check. English, please.
Sir, he can tell in other paragraphs.
It is also possible, but as I mentioned, in true, false, not given questions and answers are going to be in the order. So you will just go on like this. Okay. All right, let's go on. Question number 6. Bats may feed on paddy. What is paddy? Rice field. Yeah, the dhan, what we call it. Bats may feed on paddy swarming caterpillars. Now, it means bats can eat paddy swarming caterpillars and grass webworms. Now, if they can eat, listen, when they give 2, And if they say, well, bats can easily eat paddy-swarming caterpillars, but they don't like eating grass webworms. If they give two things, one they like to eat, second they don't, answer will be false. Right? If they eat both, answer will be true. And if they don't like both, or if they don't mention whether they like or they feed or not, then it is not given. Now the clue word is paddy-swarming caterpillar and grass webworms. So, very good. Let's read second last paragraph of this page. These winner species are providing a valuable free service to Madagascar as biological pest suppressors, says Rocha. We found that 6 species of bat are preying on rice pests, including the paddy-swarming caterpillar and grass webworm. So they are included, hence the answer is true. Got it? And if they mentioned one, not the other one, then it could be false. Good. It depends. Right? If the first question type is type A, then start from there. Otherwise, start from type A. Wherever there is type A. Okay, guys. Questions 7 to 13. Complete the table below. Choose one word only from the passage for each answer. Now, table completion, questions and answers are going to be in order. Usually, part 1 is a part where we have two main type of questions, true, false, not given, and sentence completion. And both question types are type A. Type A means questions and answers are in order. Okay, now let's read the question. The study carried out by Rocha or Roca or whatever, okay, listen, never care about your pronunciation in IELTS reading because you are reading to yourself. Koi mazak bhi nahi udayega. Okay, and one more thing, always read in your heart. No lip sync. You cannot read like this. The study carried out by Rocha's team aimed in. Okay, not like this. You will read like this. Yeah, you will read like this. Means you will not produce any noise because even whispering is not allowed. Right? Yeah. Some students told me they were whispering and the invigilator came and said, shh. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go on. The study carried out by Rocha's team. Now, aim, there is no question. But can you guys see there is the word Rano Mafina National Park. Underline that. Because this can help you. Rano Mafana National Park. Now, method. Let's read the question. Ultrasonic recordings. Now read question number 7. DNA. What's the clue word? DNA. Wow. DNA analysis of bat dash. Look, it's going to be something related to bat. It can be the part of bat's body or it can be something related to bat. DNA analysis of bats. For example, DNA analysis of bat's hair. DNA analysis of bat's eyes or anything like that. So let's go back. DNA is the clue word. Second page, first paragraph, you will find DNA there. And it is also possible that you find DNA on a number of different locations. Okay? So then you need to check what is the context of DNA. Now, second page, first paragraph, I'm going to read the last sentence. They next used DNA barcoding techniques to analyze droppings collected from bats. Droppings collected from bats means bats droppings. Yeah. So the answer is? Yeah, dropping, sorry. Dropping collected from bats, that means bats dropping. Okay, for example, food collected from animals, animals food. Right? So the answer is droppings. And one more thing, whenever you have to write a word from the passage, please copy it 100%. For example, droppings, plural, just write droppings. Don't try to temper the word. Whatever the word is, write the word as it is. Okay? Let's go on. Next is findings. In findings, you can see the word located on hills. And then, can you see the word, question number 8. Please come to question number 8. Findings. 8 pests of rice, dash, sugarcane, nuts and fruit. What's the clue word? Sugarcane, nuts, fruit. So please look for sugarcane, nuts, fruit, and the fourth word is going to be your answer. Sugarcane, nuts, fruit. Sugarcane, nuts, fruit. Absolutely. Second paragraph, second last line. All of you please follow. Second paragraph, second last line. There you can see these words. So I'm going to read it from fourth last line. Whenever you find the word, find the last full stop and start from there. While the findings indicated, found it? Okay? While the findings indicated that rice farming benefits most from the bats, the scientists also found indications that the bats were consuming pests of other crops, including the black twig borer, which infests coffee plants, sugarcane cicada, the Medemia nut borer, and the sober tabby, that is pest of citrus fruit. So, which word is missing? Yeah, the word which is missing is coffee plants. And how many words are we supposed to write? One word. Now, will we write coffee or will we write plants? Coffee. Why? Because they mentioned the word sugarcane, nuts, and fruit. Okay? Sugarcane, nuts, and fruit. Now, they mentioned here which infest coffee plants. Sugarcane, that is already mentioned. And then for nut, they use that technical word, macadamia. And sober tabby, a pest of citrus fruit. So, sober tabby is a fruit. Okay, so correct answer is only and only coffee. Now, instead of coffee, don't write cafe. Okay, because I like cafe, I will write cafe. Sorry? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Listen, listen. Just focus the word rice, sugarcane, nuts, and fruit. So when you are not writing technical terminologies and you're supposed to write one word, I read this again. Second last line, please follow me. Black twig borer, which infests coffee plants. Okay. Then sugarcane cicada, that is for sugarcane. Macadamia nut borer, that is for nut. And the sober tabby, a pest of citrus fruit, that is for fruit. So fruit is mentioned, sugarcane is mentioned, nut is mentioned, coffee is missing, hence coffee is your answer. Clear? All right, let's go on. Question number 9, please. Prevent. Now these are the findings and answers are in sequence. Prevent the spread of disease by eating dash and black flies. So answer will come with black flies. They eat black flies and dash. Look for black flies. Okay, black flies, and you can see it's third last paragraph. Third last paragraph, everyone found it? Okay, so I'm just going to read it from second line. Associated with spreading disease. Disease is mentioned here. Let's go on. Roca and his team found evidence that Malagasy bats feed not just on crop pests, but also on mosquitoes, carriers of malaria, Rift Valley fever virus, and elephantiasis, as well as black flies. Now with black flies, what is the other word they have mentioned? Mosquitoes. So the correct answer is going to be mosquito. Singular or plural? Yes, as they mentioned in the passage. And by the way, with and, the other word black flies is plural. So you should write plural mosquitoes, and be careful with the spelling when you copy. See, you found the answer and because of careless spelling mistake, it's wrong. What a pity. And one wrong answer will decrease your band score from 7 to 6.5, from 8 to 7.5. Be careful. Let's go on. Local attitudes to bats are mixed. They provide food rich in. Now listen, listen, listen. What do they mean by they? No, they means bat. Listen, they say local attitudes to bats are mixed. They means bats provide food. What does it mean? Some people eat bats. See, that's what people believe. This came, okay, I'll not say anything about it. Leave it. So, they provide food. Now listen, bats provide food, and that food is rich in something. Now imagine bat is meat. So meat provides? Absolutely, that is the answer. Go back and find it. Second last paragraph. Rocha points out that the relationship is complicated. When food is scarce, bats become a crucial source of protein for local people. What does it mean? Local people eat bats with tomato ketchup. All right? You say you're eating a sandwich. Someone asks you, what sandwich are you eating? Bat sandwich. All right? Barbecue. Which barbecue? Bat barbecue. Okay, what is this soup about? Bat soup. All right, okay, I'm feeling bad. So the answer is protein. Source of protein for local people, and this protein comes from bats. This is how they believe this COVID-19 started. Yeah. Anyways, let's go on. Question number 11. The buildings where they roost, they means? Absolutely. And you should be clear about this thing. Whenever they use the word they, them, this, you should be clear about that. The buildings where they roost become. What do they become? What do those buildings become? Let's go back. Same paragraph. Yeah, third. I'm reading it from second line. Even the children. Found it? It's the second last paragraph, second line. Please follow me. Even the children will hunt them, and as well as roosting in trees, the bats sometimes roost in buildings. Now be careful, but are not welcome there because they make them. Them means buildings. Again, see, this is very important to see where they or them goes. They make them unclean. So buildings become unclean. Answer is unclean. Got it? Let's go on. Question number 12. They play. What do they mean by they? Bats, chamchita and all that, okay? Bats play an important, and you can do one thing. Read it as bats play for your understanding. Otherwise, they play, you'll not understand that. Bats play an important role in local dash. Go back. Local. And by the way, for local, they use the word people. Same paragraph, read after unclean. Found it? At the same time, mil gaya? Please follow me. At the same time, however, they are associated with sacred caves and the ancestors, so they can be viewed. They means bats can be viewed as beings between words, which makes them very significant in the culture of the people. That means local culture. Culture of the people means local culture. Answer is? Why not people? Yeah, local is already there for people. So answer is culture. Last thing, recommendation. Farmers should provide special, underline the word special. For special, sometimes they use specific or any other word like that. Farmers should provide special dash to support the bat population. Now, let's come back. Same paragraph, last two lines. Farmers should provide. Look for the word farmers or anything like that. And what is it that they should provide? Second last paragraph, second last line. Rocha says, found it? Everyone found it? Rocha says, with the right help, we hope that farmers can promote this mutually beneficial relationship by installing bat houses. Now listen, who is going to provide bad houses? Farmers. And by the way, for provide, they use the word by installing bat houses. Now listen. What will be the answer? Exactly. It is not going to be bat because it's one word only. So farmers should provide special houses to support the bat population. So bat is already mentioned. That is why answer is only houses. And you must follow this thing carefully. If you write bat houses out of excitement, I found the answer. Yeah, I'll write bat also, full answer. Okay, that full answer will be the reason for the wrong answer. All right, thank you. Okay, guys, now we've got academic reading passage 2. Okay, reading passage 2. Does education fuel economic growth? Very important. Does education fuel economic growth? What does it mean? That if people are educated, economy will be strong, right? So does education fuel economic growth? Question mark. And you see A, B, C, D. These A, B, C, Ds are very dangerous. Whenever there is A, B, C, D, there will be type B questions. And what are two type B questions? Number one, which paragraph contains the following information, and list of headings. And whenever you get list of headings and which paragraph contains the following information, do them at the end of that section, not in the beginning. Because for these question types, you need to do scanning around the full passage. And that scanning will eat all your time, all your energies, your brain will be exhausted, and then type A questions you will not be able to do properly. Always try to do type A questions first, and by doing type A questions, you will be familiar with the passage, and then type B questions are going to be easier for you. Now, let's come to the questions. Questions 14 to 18. Which section contains the following information? Are we going to start from here? How many questions? 5 questions. And these 5 questions have the ability to take your 15 minutes. And then at the end, you will be exhausted. So the good thing is, you need to start from questions 19 to 22. They are 4 questions and they are type A. Then you can do 23 and 24. They are also type A. And then you can do 25 and 26. And after that, you can come back to 14 to 18. Now, questions 19 to 22. Complete the summary below. Question type is summary completion. Choose one word from the passage for each answer. Demographic reconstruction of 2 German communities. Now, let's go back and we look for German communities. Demographic reconstruction of 2 German communities. Yeah, demographic reconstruction is mentioned in paragraph D for doctor who lived in these 2 German communities. Got it? Clear? Now see that we easily found the paragraph which contains the answer. How? Because we read the title, demographic reconstruction of 2 German communities. Got it? So finding the location in the passage where there is the answer is crucial. If you do that, then you will be able to manage your time. Otherwise, time management is the very serious issue in IELTS reading. One student said, I can do IELTS reading in 2 hours, 3 passages, then I can find 30 answers. And if I do 1 hour में तो एक passage ही मुश्किल से होता है. For some students, this is true, not for all. So, if you read 14 sentences for 14 questions, then IELTS reading is fun. And if you read all the passage for 14 questions, then it is a nightmare, okay? Anyways, let's start. We read questions. The database that Ogilvy and her team, now this is the name, okay? Don't worry, just read as it is, or as you can. And her team has compiled sheds light on the lives of a range of individuals as well as their dash. Now listen, lives of individuals as well as their. Now listen, again referencing. IELTS reading is full of referencing. Their means something related to individuals. Lives of individuals and their business. Lives of individuals and their families. Lives of individuals and their something. And then they use the word over a 300 period. Now 300 is a very good clue. Let's go back. Yeah? Okay, very good. Across 300 period. So now I'm going to read it from 3rd line. We can follow. Found it? Yes. Okay, paragraph D for doctor, 3rd line. We can follow the same people. Same people means individuals. For people, they use the word individuals. And their descendants. So individuals and their descendants across 300 years. What will be the answer? Absolutely. Because for individuals, they use the word people and their descendants. And be careful with the spelling. Don't write the wrong spelling, okay? Descendants across 300, and there they use the word over a 300 here. Now, let's go on. I'm reading question number 20. For example, please follow me. For example, Anna, Regina, and Magdalena, and then the name. And if the, these are German names. Don't try to read them. If the names are hard to read, only read the first syllable. How? Anna, Reg. Mag, Re. I'm reading Magri, okay? Were reprimanded, means punished or chastised, reprimanded for reading while they should have been paying attention to a dash. Now listen, two girls, they mentioned the name, they were punished for reading while they had to do something else. They were not supposed to read, they were supposed to do something else. Because of that, they were punished. Let's go back. Look for these names. Exactly. I mean, fourth line, individual lives have unfolded before their eyes. Stories like that of 24-year-old Anna, got it? And Magdalena, who were chastised. Chastised means reprimanded, punished. In 1707 for reading books in church instead of listening to. So they did not listen to sermon, they read books and they were chastised. Answer is sermon. Very good. Sermon. Clear? Yeah, to all? Good. And these type of things will take time to develop. Once you solve one test, you will not be clear. Another, at least 10 to 15 tests, then you will start understanding these concepts, okay? Let's go on. There was also Juliana, who came to the notice of the Weavers' Guild in the year 1752. The clue word is 1752 for breaking guild rules. As a punishment, she was later given a dash. What was punishment? She was given something as a punishment. Let's go back. She was given something as a punishment. Same paragraph. Can you see the word 1752? Okay, I'm reading from there. I'm reading from 1752 by the local weavers guild for weaving cloth and combing wool counter to the guild ordinance. Now, if you don't understand these difficult words, don't worry at all. Just read on. When Juliana continued taking jobs reserved for male guild members, she was summoned before the guild court and told to pay a... What was punishment? That fine. Told to pay a fine equivalent to 1/3 of the servant's annual wage. What's the question? The question is, as a punishment, she was later given a fine. Right? F-I-N-E, fine. This is not that fine, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Okay? This fine is the other fine you pay when you do something wrong. Okay? Cases like this illustrate, cases like this means the cases they mentioned before, illustrate how the guilds could prevent dash and stop skilled people from working. Prevent. Look for the word prevent. For prevent, they might use the word stop or anything else. Same paragraph, prevent. Yes, same paragraph, second last line. Please follow me. The dominance of guilds not only prevented, now focus, not only prevented people from using their skills, but also held back, underline held back, even the simplest industrial innovations. Now, by the way, for prevent, they use the word held back, even the simplest industrial innovations. Simplest industrial innovations. What will be the answer? Could prevent innovations and stop skilled people from working. So why not? Okay, now listen. They've given 3 words here. And those 3 words are simplest industrial innovations. Now look here. Most of the time in the blanks, answer is supposed to be a noun. And to confuse you with that noun, sometimes they give 1 adjective, sometimes they give 4 adjectives. Beautiful, white, friendly, innocent cat. Answer is cat. But some Pole Badshah, they will write friendly, they will write innocent, they will write white and all that. So over here they mention simplest industrial innovation. And by the way, held back means prevent. Okay. All right. Thank you. Answer is innovation. Okay guys, now let's start questions 23 and 24. We call these questions double multiple choice questions. Listen, whenever we have double multiple choice questions in IELTS reading, answers are usually in one paragraph. Sometimes they are grouped together, sometimes in two parts of one paragraph, and sometimes it is also possible that they are in two separate paragraphs, right? But they are going to be in order. Now I tell you what to do. First of all, you will read the question and find the clue word, so that when you go to the passage, you should locate. The first target is to locate the part of the passage that contains the question. So let's read questions 23 and 24. Please follow me. Choose two letters A to E. Write the correct letters in boxes 23 and 24. Which two of the following statements does the writer make about literacy rates in section B? Wow. They have given us section also. Okay. So which of the following statements does the writer make about literacy rates in section B? Now please come to section B. And two statements. And statements are usually in inverted commas. Usually, not always, but usually. So, anyways, can you guys see first inverted commas? They start from between 1600s. And second, modern cross country. Found it? Okay, now I'm going to read. Please follow me. Paragraph B, fourth line, between 1600 and 1900. Found it? Now let's read this carefully. Between 1600 and 1900, England had only mediocre literacy rates by European standards. Yet, its economy grew fast and it was the first country to industrialize. Now, what did they say? Literacy rates were mediocre, but they were the first country to industrialize. During this period, Germany and Scandinavia had excellent literacy rates, but their economies grew slowly. You got the idea? Now please come back. Option A. Very little research has been done into the link between high literacy rates and improved earnings. Not so far. B. Literacy rates in Germany between 1600s and 1900s were very good. Literacy rates were, come back, please, come back. They said during this period, Germany and Scandinavia had excellent literacy rates. Literacy rates were excellent, but that economic growth was not that good. Just focus this sentence. It's the fourth last sentence. During this period, found it? During this period, Germany and Scandinavia had excellent literacy rates, and that is literacy rates in Germany between 1600 and 1900 were very good. For very good, they use the word excellent. So this is the first correct answer. Once you find one correct answer, now wait. Now we read the second part, and then we will read on. So please come back to the passage. I'm reading it from third last line. Modern cross-country analysis. Found it?
Yes.
It's the third last line, paragraph B, because they mentioned section B already. Modern cross-country analysis have also struggled to find evidence that education causes economic growth, even though there is plenty of evidence that growth increases education, she adds. Now, one thing, education causes economic growth, and other thing, economic growth causes education. Let's go on. Let's come back to the questions. Paragraph C, there is strong evidence that high literacy rates in the modern world result in economic growth. They didn't mention this thing. It was actually the opposite. By the way, it was the opposite. Option D, England is a good example of how high literacy rates helped a country industrialize. No, In England, literacy rate was low and it became industrialized country. So see that elimination, odd options should be out. Option E, economic growth can help to improve literacy rates. And come back please. Economic growth can help to improve literacy rates, and they mentioned education causes economic growth, even though there is plenty of evidence that growth increases education, right? So growth increases education. That means economic growth can help to improve literacy rate. Literacy rate means education. So correct answer for question number 23 and 24 is B for boy, E for elephant, and you can write in any order. For example, 23B, 24E. That is what I recommend. But if you write 23E, 24B, even then they will be right. Clear? Okay, now let's go on. Questions 25 and 26. Choose two letters A to E. Write the correct letters in the boxes. Which two of the following statements does the writer make in section F about guilds in German-speaking Central Europe? Guilds in German-speaking Central Europe between 1600 and 1900. Section F, two statements about guilds in German-speaking Central Europe between 1600 and 1900. So where is it? Paragraph F. Now see that paragraph F, and there are two answers here. Let's read it from fourth lines, you said. Third line, comma is there. German-speaking Central Europe is an excellent laboratory for testing theories of economic growth. She explains. Now what does she explain? It's the excellent laboratory. You can check it there. And what can you check there? Excellent laboratory for testing theories of economic growth, she explains. Right? Between 1600 and 1900, literacy rate and book ownerships were high, and yet the region remained poor. Now let's go back to the questions. Literacy rate high and region became poor, and they are the good laboratories for economic growth. Option A. I'm reading the questions now. Option A. They helped young people to learn a skill. No, not until now. Option B. They were opposed to people moving to an area for work. No. Option C. They kept better records than guilds in other parts of the world. No. Option D. They opposed practices that threatened their control over a trade. Not until now. Option E. They predominantly consisted of wealthy merchants. No. Let's read more. If you don't find any option, then you got to read more. So let's go on. We are going to read some more here. Okay, I'm reading it. It was also the case that local guilds, please follow me here. It was also the case that local guilds, found it? Yes. Okay, let's read on. It was also the case that local guilds and merchant associations were extremely powerful and legislated against anything that undermined their monopolies. So what was powerful? Merchant associations. The trader associations, okay? They were so extremely powerful and legislated. Legislated means they made laws against anything that determined their monopolies. And then they say in village throughout the region, guilds blocked labor migration. People were not allowed to go from one area to another and resisted changes that might reduce their influence. Now let's go back. Option B, they were opposed to people moving to an area for work. What is the word for that? Migration. And what do they mean by they? Guilds in German-speaking country. They means guilds. So they were opposed to people moving to an area for work. That means migration. First correct answer is B. B, not C. Okay, C is they kept better records. No. Option D, they opposed practices that threatened their control over a trade. Come back to the passage. They have mentioned here, extremely powerful and legislated against anything that undermined their monopolies. Undermined their monopolies means undermined their power. Let's go back to the question. Option D, well done. They opposed practices that threatened their control. Threatened their control means undermine their monopoly. Threatened their control, undermine their monopoly over a trade. So D is the second correct answer. Okay? Question number 25, B for boy. Question number 26, D for doctor. All right. Yes. Okay. Questions 14 to 18. Reading passage 2 has 6 sections A to F. Which section contains the following information? Now, you guys are a little familiar with the passage. Okay? And by the way, this type of questions is type B. Questions and answers are not in order. You just have to scan the whole passage to find the answer. How to do it? Read the question statement, find a clue word, look across the passage to find that clue word, and there you will find the answer. By the way, it's just like that you need to find a needle from a haystack. Just a small thing from the whole passage. Anyways, there is always one sentence which is going to match with these statements. So question number 14. An explanation of the need for research to focus on individuals with a fairly consistent income. Look for income, look for research, individuals. Explanation of the need for research to focus on individuals with a fairly consistent income. I give you hint, paragraph D, E, F. Paragraph D, E, F. Please go and find. Look for the word income or anything like that. Paragraph E, why? Okay, all right. Now listen. Paragraph E. Everyone, please come to paragraph E. Third line. After full stop. Found it? This involves following the lives of different people with the same level of wealth over a period of time. Let's go back. Let's read the question. Explanation of the need for research to focus on individuals with a fairly consistent income. And what is the word for fairly consistent income? Same level of wealth over a period of time. If wealth is consistent, it is possible to discover whether education was linked or not. So, question number 14, because of individuals with a fairly consistent income, and for that they use the word wealth is constant. Paragraph E is the right answer for question number 14. Okay, now question number 15. Examples of the sources the database has been compiled of. Now look for database, sources, compiled of. Database, start from ABC. Examples of sources the database has been compiled. Exactly. The first paragraph, third line, it includes court records. Now what is record? It's database. Exactly. It includes court records, guild leaders, guild ledgers, parish register, village consensus. Now what is this? This is the example of, example of sources the database has been compiled of. What are the sources? Sources are court records, guild ledgers, parish registers, village consensus, tax lists. These are the sources. That is why for question number 15, correct answer is A. All right, question number 16 you can find easily. An account of one individual's refusal to obey an order. There was one person who refused to obey the order. We just read it somewhere. Account of one individual's refusal to obey an order. Go to paragraph DEF. One individual refused to obey the order. Okay, and that individual is Juliana. Right? Database also reveals the case of Juliana. Juliana is individual, a 50-year-old spinster living in the small. Found it, by the way? मिल गया सबको? Paragraph D. And in the middle, just look for the word Juliana Schweich something. Okay, found it? Okay, so the database also reveals the case of Juliana, a 50-year-old. 50-year-old mil gaya sabko? Good. 50-year-old spinster living in the small black forest community of Wildberg, who was reprimanded in 1752 by the local weavers guild for weaving cloth and combing wool. So example of individual means Juliana. And why was she reprimanded? Because she was weaving cloth and combing wool counter to the guild ordinance. When Juliana continued taking jobs reserved for male guild members, she was summoned before the guild court. The job was for male members and she did that, so she was summoned by the court and all that. So question number 16, account. Account means they expressed of one individual. That individual is Juliana. Refusal to obey an order. Question number 16, correct answer is D for doctor. Question number 17, a reference to a region. Region means area. It can be the name of a city, country, or any part. A reference to a region being particularly suited to research into the link between education and economic growth. You know that already. Yes, there they mentioned laboratory. They use the word laboratory. Reference to a region being particularly suited means it is the laboratory. Which paragraph is that? F. And what is the word over there? German-speaking Central Europe is an excellent, third line. German-speaking Central Europe is an excellent laboratory for testing theories of economic growth and all that. Now, have you noticed one thing? If you complete other question types, sometimes you will find the answers automatically because you've read it all. So, reference to a region being particularly suited, that is German-speaking Central Europe. And they use the word laboratory for question number 17. Correct answer is F. Question number 18. Examples of the items included in a list of personal possessions. They included the items like gold, mobile phone, camera, other household accessories. Examples of the items. Examples of the items included in a list of personal possessions. Personal possession means Zati Malkiyat. Examples of the items. And what are those items? All right. If you read paragraph C, in the handwritten inventories that Ogilvy is analyzing are the belongings of women and men at marriage, remarriage and death, from badger skins to Bibles, sewing machines to scarlet bodices. The villagers' entire worldly goods are included. Worldly goods, and what is the word for that? Personal possessions. Personal possession, worldly goods. They have given the examples of sewing machine and this and that. So for question number 18, correct answer is C. Okay? All right. All right, let's go on. Reading passage 3. Timur Gariev, Blindfold Chess Champion. Wow. Timur Gariev. Blindfold means who blindfolds his eyes and he plays chess. Okay? Yeah, I think his name is there in Guinness Book of World Record as well. Timur Gariev, Blindfold Chess Champion. You know chess is a game. This person is a champion of chess. And the specialty is he plays chess without looking at that. He's blindfolded. Blindfold means aankhon pe patti bande hona. He's blindfolded and he plays chess. Right? Okay. That's interesting. You can Google him, but you don't have time. Again, passage is labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. What does that mean? That means Siapa. And that Siapa can be list of headings or which paragraph contains the following information? So what do we have? Which paragraph contains the following information? How many questions? 6 questions and passage 3. And usually students maximum have 20 minutes for passage 3 because of poor time management. What do? They waste all their time on passage 1. According to me, passage 1 should not take more than 15 minutes. Because in passage 1, type A questions are given. Passage 2 should take around 20 minutes. And passage 3 should take around 25 minutes. Okay? But anyways, so we will do questions 27 to 32 first. No. We'll do them last. Right? Then questions 33 to 36, they are true, false, not given. How many questions? 4. Type A. Questions and answers are in order. And then we have 37 to 40. Complete the summary below. So 4 questions there. I would advise you to start from summary completion. Then come to true, false, not given. And at the end, if you find time, good. Otherwise, tukkas. Okay, because you don't leave any blank, so you just have to do the tukkas. And this is the time when they have final announcements, when they announce candidates, make sure you transfer your answers to the answer sheets. Invigilators come and they say, answer transfer karo, answer your transfers to the answer sheet, because this is their responsibility. And if you fail to transfer the answers, you will get 1 band. Yeah, they will not check your question booklet. This is question booklet you're holding. In actual exam, they will not check the question booklet. They will only check the answer sheet. If in 1 hour, no answer is written on answer sheet, you will get 1 band. 1 band means non-user of English. Iska English se koi rishta nahi hai. Anyways, let's start. Questions 37 to 40. Choose 1 word only from the passage. How the research was carried out. Okay? Question number 37. The researchers started by testing Gary's, or whatever his name is. Has anybody heard his name? Gary. Okay, we call him Gary. Let's call him Gary. Okay, no problem. The researchers started by testing Gary's dash. For example, he was required to recall a string of dash. Now let's see researchers. Look for the word researchers and how they started. Researchers. Absolutely fine. For researchers, they use the word scientists. This is how they play. And the good thing is, you will find all the answers in order in paragraph F and paragraph G. So, the scientist first had Gary's performance, some standard memory test. Now listen, the scientist first. So what did they do first? They had some standard memory tests. Now come back. Come back. Now we have 3 words. 3 words. Standard memory tests. Which word will be the answer? Exactly, because for test they use the word testing Gary's memory. You cannot write testing Gary's standard. That will be wrong. Correct answer is memory. And those who write standard, they will be double confident. Standard is the right answer. I've written here. Remember one thing, wrong answer will not give any sense. Logically, grammatically, ethically, wrong answer will never give any sense. So the first correct answer is 37. And for example, now this is linked. In one sentence, if there are 2 blanks, it means answer is very close. Right? For example, he was required. What do they mean by he? Gary, absolutely. He was required to recall a string of dash in order. A string of dash in order. Come back. Memory test. These assessed his ability to hold numbers, pictures, and words in mind. Ability to hold numbers, pictures, and words in mind. Now come back. What will be the right answer? He was required. For example, he was required to recall a string of dash in order and also in reverse order. So something in order and in reverse order. So let's see. They say here, these assessed his ability to hold numbers, pictures, and words in mind. One classic test measures how many numbers as a person can repeat both forward and backwards. Absolutely. So what was that? Numbers in order and also in reverse order. What is the word for in order and in reverse order? Forward and backward. Now, for example, 100, 99, 98, 97, 96, 95, blah, 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 like that. So answer is numbers. And how did you find this answer? Because they mentioned in order and also in reverse order. Question number 39. Although his performance was normal, scans showed an unusual amount of dash within the areas of Gary's brain. Unusual amount of dash. Unusual amount. Focus that. Unusual amount of dash. Let's read on. I'm reading it from paragraph F, and just let's read from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th line. But next came, found it? But next came the brain scans, because they use the word scan. Next came the brain scan. With Gary lying down in the machine, Risman looked at how well connected the various regions of the chess player brains were. Though, just a second, that's not the answer. Though the results are tentative and yet unpublished, the scans found much greater than average. Much greater than average communication. And what does that mean? That means unusual amount of. Now see the link. Unusual amount of much greater than average. Unusual amount of much greater than average. They are synonyms. They are rewording. So answer is communication. Okay? All good? Yeah. Let's go on. The next one. In addition, the scans raised the possibility of unusual strength in the parts of his brain that deal with dash input. Underline the word input. Now listen. Answer is the part of a brain which deals with a type of input. Type of input. Paragraph G. Everyone please come to paragraph G. It was not the only hint of something special in Gary's brain. The scans also suggest Gary's visual network is more highly connected to other brain parts than usual. Initial results suggest that the areas of his brain that process visual images, such as chessboard, may have stronger links to other brain. Now, visual images such as chessboards may have stronger links to other brain regions and so be more powerful than normal. So what is the input? Visual, absolutely. Visual network is more connected and then stronger the links of other brain's regions such as chessboard. So images of chessboard, they are visual inputs. Unusual strength in the parts of the brain that deal with. Parts of the brain that deal with. What is the word for that? Yeah, they use the word areas of his brain. For parts of brain, what is the word? Third line. Third line. Areas of his brain that process. That process means areas of the brain that deal with. Process means deal with. Process visual images. So the correct answer is visual. All right. Okay guys, now we have true, false, not given. And then in the end we'll go to 27 to 32. True, false, not given. You are already familiar. Within the statement, first we'll find clue word, then we'll find a word or a phrase which is going to decide whether the answer is true, false or not given. Question number 33. In the forthcoming games, all the participants will be blindfolded. Underline forthcoming games. Now listen, encircle the word all. Encircle the word all. What do they say? All the participants will be blindfolded. Now look here. If all the participants will be blindfolded, they use the word all 10 participants will be blindfolded. Blindfolded means aankhon pe patti bandi hogi, right? So if they will be blindfolded, answer is true. If half will be blindfolded, half will not be blindfolded, or majority of them will be blindfolded, 9 out of 10 will be blindfolded, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether all or some or few, then the answer is not given. Now listen, it's true, false, not given. Questions, answers are in order, so you should start your search from paragraph A. Next month, a chess player named Temur will take on nearly 50 opponents at once. How many opponents? Okay, let's read carefully. But that is not the hard part. While his challengers will play the games as normal, Gary himself will be... Now, other 50 players, will they be blindfolded? No, they will play as normal. Only Gary will be blindfolded. So, the correct answer, in the forthcoming games, all the participants will be blindfolded? No. Only Gary will be blindfolded and others will not be blindfolded. Answer is false. See that you now understand the logic of false, why it is false. Once you understand why it is false, then it will become easier for you. And over here, they use the word all. And by the way, I have seen the word all in many true, false, not given. Whenever they use the word all, you have to just check this thing only. Question number 34. Gary has won competition in base jumping. Now listen, base jumping is your clue word. If he won competition, answer is true. If he participated but he lost, answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether he won or he lost, then it is not given. So Gary has won competition in base jumping. It's the same paragraph. Got it? Okay, I'm reading it from 4th line. 28-year-old already stands. Found it? Please follow me, everyone. थोड़ा सा रह गया, हिम्मत करें. 4th line. 28-year-old already stands out in the rare field word of blindfold chess. He has a fondness for bright clothes and unusual hairstyles, and he gets his kicks from adventure sport of base jumping. That's it. He has already proved himself a strong chess player. Now, did they mention anything that Gary has won a competition in base jumping? No, they only use this thing. He gets his kicks from the adventure sports of base jumping. But he won, he lost. There is no information on that. That is why answer is false. थैंक यू. थोड़ा सा एंजॉय किया, आपको झटका दिया हल्का सा. ओके, ये जो सोए हुए थे वो भी उठ गए. ओह, नॉट गिवन. इट इज नॉट गिवन. वेल डन. हाँ, गेट इज किक. किक का नहीं पता सलमान खान ने क्या बोला था, कौन सी मूवी में बोला था कि किक मिल जाए बस. किक मूवी का नाम भी किक था. किक किसे कहते हैं, किसे कहते हैं किक को? मोटिवेशन मिल जानी, शुरू में कोई रीजन मिल जानी, किक मिल जाए. ठीक है. अब जब एक दोस्त थे, उनकी शादी होनी थी ना, तो मंगनी नहीं हो रही थी. मंगनी हुई तो उनको किक मिल गई. उसके बाद उन्होंने 3 कमेटियां डाली और जब तीसरी कमेटी निकली तो उनकी शादी हो गई. नहीं, इनका कोई ताल्लुक नहीं उससे. तीसरी निकल आई थी ना, और जहां जहां कमेटी डाली उनको कहा पहली मैं लेनी, और रीजन भी बताया. ठीक है. और अब कहता है कि काश वो कमेटियां ना निकली होती, ना ही मुझे मिलती तो अच्छा था, क्योंकि फिर उसके बाद कमेटी टूट जाती है. हाँ, फिर जो है ना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. अच्छा जी, लेट्स गो ऑन. 34, answer is not given. 35, UCLA is the first. Wow, this word first will decide. हो गया ना आसान. UCLA is first university to carry out research into blindfold chess players. Now look here. If UCLA is first university which is going to do that, answer is true. If it has already been done before, then the answer is false. And if they don't tell us whether the university is smile first, second or third, then the answer is not given. So UCLA. Excellent. Paragraph B. UCLA. I'm reading it from the middle. Researchers at the University of California in Los Angeles called him in for tests. They now have their first results. Right? And if you read before that, in the hope of understanding, I'm reading second line, paragraph B, second line. In the hope of understanding how he and others like him can perform such mental feats, researchers at University of California in Los Angeles called him in for tests. They now have their first results. The first results, listen. The ability to play a game of chess with your eyes closed is not a far reach for most accomplished players, said Jess Risman, who runs a memory lab at UCLA. But the thing that's so remarkable about Timur and few other individuals is the number of games they can keep active at once. To me, it is simply astonishing. Now come back. UCLA is the first university to carry out research. The word first. They did not mention whether that university is the first one. For first, they usually use the word groundbreaking research. Groundbreaking research means first university or first research. So the word first is not given anywhere. That is why the answer is not given. Very good. And have you noticed one thing? Two not given. You know, two not given and then one false. So the last one should be. First results does not mean the first university to carry out research. If we do a research and we do 5 experiments, the result of first experiment will called first results, second results, third results. But the research that was first, second, third, fourth, they didn't mention anything about that, okay? All right, so 36 is... और 2 नॉट गिवन हो गए, उन सारे नॉट गिवन कर दियो. वाई नॉट गिवन? मनु लभ्या ही नहीं. हाँ, जो मुझे नहीं मिलेगा वो नॉट गिवन. जिसको मैं चाहूंगा वो ट्रू, जो मुझे पसंद नहीं आएगा वो फॉल्स. एग्जैक्टली, अपना ही दुनिया बना लें. ओके, गुड चेस प्लेयर्स आर लाइकली टू बी एबल टू प्ले blindfold chess. Good chess players are likely to be able. Likely to be able means they can play. Good chess players can play chess blindfolded. Now let's go back. Paragraph. E for elephant. Very good. Accomplished means good. We use the word accomplished cricketers, accomplished footballer. So for accomplished, they use the word good chess players. Paragraph. E for elephant. All of you. Accomplished players can develop the skill of playing blind even without realizing it. So what do they say? Good chess players are likely to be able. Likely to be able means can develop the skill. Likely to be able to play blindfold chess, can develop a skill of playing blind even without realizing it. Answer is true. Very good. Speaking? हाँ, बड़े बड़े शाहकार हैं. स्पीकिंग का टेस्ट ही भूल गया शहजादा. कहता मुझे याद ही नहीं कि मेरा स्पीकिंग का टेस्ट था. चलें स्टार्ट करें जी. ओके, लेट्स स्टार्ट क्वेश्चंस 27 to 32. रीडिंग पैसेज 3 हैज 8 पैराग्राफ्स. आमतौर पे 8 ही होते हैं, 6 to 8. Which paragraph contains the following information? Now see that at this stage we are familiar with the passage. We have read different paragraphs of the passage, so these questions are going to be somewhat easier for us. Question number 27. A reference to earlier examples of blindfold chess. Earlier examples means in the past there was blindfold chess. Reference to earlier examples of blindfold chess. Go to paragraph A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. Look for the word 13th century, 1947. Earlier examples mean examples in the past. Now listen and keep in mind, whenever they use the word earlier, look for past times. Look for past tense. Look for past years. So what are the past years mentioned here? 13th century, 1947. I'm reading paragraph D. Please follow me. To the uninitiated, blindfold chess seems to call for superhuman skill, but displays of the feat go back centuries. The first recorded game means blindfold chess. First recorded game in Europe was played in 13th century Florence. In 1947, the Argentinian Grandmaster Miguel played 45 simultaneous games in the mid and all that. So paragraph D contains reference to earlier examples of blindfold chess. Got it? Whenever they use the word earlier, look for past time. Question number 28. Outline of what blindfold chess involves. They tell us in a paragraph, and this paragraph is going to be somewhere where they give us the information. One person is blindfolded and this and that. Outline of what blindfold chess involves. Go to paragraph A, B, C, D, E. What blindfold chess involves. An outline of what blindfold chess involves. Okay, the correct answer is paragraph E. Right? And it is given in the third line. Please follow third line. From this, regular players develop a memory for the pattern, the pieces make, the defenses and attacks. You recreate in your mind, said Gary's. A lot of players are capable of doing it. So what does it involve? Blindfold chess. They mention the nature of the game is to run through possible moves in the mind to see how they play out. From this, regular players develop a memory for the patterns of pieces. It involves this. The defenses, second thing. And the third is attacks. So for 28, question is an outline. Now what is the outline? Outline is patterns of pieces make, the defenses and attacks. So for question number 28, outline of what blindfold chess involves, that is E. Okay, 29, a claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. A claim in one paragraph where they talk about other stuff also, a claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. That he can only play chess. That blindfold, he cannot play any other game. He can only play chess, blindfold chess. A claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. Go to paragraph FGH. 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 Alright, paragraph F, please come to 5th line. Said wristman, found it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line in the middle. Said wristman, mil gaya? Now let's read after that. We didn't find anything other than playing chess that he seems to be supremely gifted at. Okay? Now what is this sentence? We didn't find anything other than playing chess. Anything other means any other game that he seems to be supremely gifted at. So 29, a claim that Gary's skill is limited to chess. Got it? See that? One sentence and one sentence matched. Question number 30. Why Gary's skill is of interest of scientists. A paragraph where they mention why Gary's skill is of interest of scientists. Go to paragraph BCD. Paragraph BCD. Interest of scientists. They use the word in the first line. Paragraph B. But Gary's prowess has drawn interest from beyond the chess playing community. Now what is beyond the chess playing community? In the hope of understanding how he and others like him can perform such mental feats, researchers. Got it? Now come back to question number 30. Why Gary's skill is of interest of scientists. So for scientists they use the word researchers. Question number 31. An outline. Outline means list. An outline of Gary's priorities. Now what does he prefer? What are his priorities? Outline of that. Go to paragraph FGH. Outline of his priorities. H. For the word record attempt. Please come to paragraph H. For the word record attempt, Gary's hopes to play. Now the list of his priority. What is that? Hopes to play 47 blindfold games at once in about 16 hours. Okay, now what is next? He will need to win 80% to claim the title. So, list of his priorities is he will play 47 blindfold games at once in about 16 hours, and then he will need to win 80% of the claim, the title, and then he says, I don't worry too much about winning percentage. Yeah, that's it. So, question number 31, an outline of Garev's priorities. And what are they? Garev's hopes to play. Hopes to play means outline of his priorities. 47 blindfold games at once in about 16 hours. Question number 32. A reason why the last part of a game may be difficult. In one paragraph, they will give us the reason the last part of the game may be difficult. A reason. Paragraph E. Okay, come to paragraph E. And where is that reason? Okay, paragraph E, and please come to second page. There they use the word end of game. That's what they used, a reason why the last part. Last part means end. So paragraph E, second page, and please come to third sentence. But the ends of games, found it? Okay, now what are the reasons? They mention, but the ends of games are taxing too, as exhaustion sets in. What is the reason? Exhaustion sets in. When Garev is tired, another reason he is tired. His recall can get patchy. His recall memory gets patchy. He sometimes makes moves based on only a fragmented memory of the pieces. So these are the reasons why last part means end of the game, may be difficult. Question number 32, correct answer is E. 27, answer is D for doctor. 28, E for elephant. 29, F for fire. 30, B for boy. 31, H for house. And 32, E for electronic. That's it.